A wave of potassium subtly maintains your inner quietude right now. Imagine every neuron is a tiny battery needing perfect charge balance, for that's what these ion channels manage. If even one side gets agitated, that delicate resonance breaks down instantly. It's like an ancient internal governor fighting against background static in the electrical wiring of existence itself. We talk about stability, but we rarely consider this ceaseless microscopic effort to resist chaos inside us. This quiet maintenance, this constant flow regulating your very potential, is what scientists call autoregulation of extracellular potassium buffering.
That internal resistance, that constant fight against energetic drift, isn't just abstract math in a lab setting. It has physical architecture within you. Think of your body's fluid environment like a vast ocean holding fragile islands of electrical charge, the cells. The mechanisms we are seeing aren't simply pumping things across. They are actively policing the boundaries themselves. They maintain what some call boundary integrity, ensuring that the energetic seal stays sound against every tiny environmental shift or background hum. This self-policing capacity is far more resilient than any external guard system could ever hope to be.
Imagine if that internal equilibrium wasn't just holding steady, but actively resisting information decay itself. We see this deeper layer in how our ion channels function as a defense against entropy. It's like your system possesses an intrinsic firewall protecting its own core signal integrity from all the background noise of existence. This relentless maintenance is what scientists term active transmembrane flux regulation, and which means something nobody expected for states we associate with deep subjective calm, because this microscopic fight defines that stillness more than anything else. What happens when external pressure disrupts even this quiet self-governance?
When that inner boundary is strained, what becomes apparent isn't just a flicker of imbalance, it's an immediate shift in how energy itself flows through your whole system. It changes the inherent rate at which information coherence can be sustained within you. Think about tuning an incredibly delicate orchestra. If the foundational resonance falters, every single instrument loses its perfect pitch instantly. This intrinsic resistance to informational decay is what we observe when tracking those specific endogenous loops maintaining stability in the extracellular space. Some theories suggest this buffering capacity weakens under external electromagnetic stress. I wonder how that holds up against research from Dr. Evelyn Reed, who posits near absolute systemic independence. You absolutely need to understand how far internal control can stretch next.
The resilience you sensed earlier, that capacity for self-guarding against informational drift, finds its deepest anchor in the very way your system manages internal pressure. It is not just a passive buffer. Think of those ionic flows like an invisible hydrostatic regulator inside a complex machine, keeping core functions stable even when surrounding components wobble wildly. This subtle control over how much electrochemical noise you allow into the inner workings defines what we call innate homeostatic drive towards balanced energetic resonance. The active management of these tiny gradients is happening right now to stabilize your fundamental energy pattern. But realizing this absolute internal autonomy presents a huge question for us. If everything relies on perfect intrinsic self-maintenance, then where does external influence even begin its work?
But if that internal engine runs on perfect self-supply, then what gives rise to deviation? What permits systemic drift when every boundary is actively reinforced against entropy? We find these hidden energetic pathways. They aren't just about keeping the current steady. They govern a fundamental resistance within us. Think of it like an invisible dampener in a tuning fork that prevents sympathetic vibrations from ever becoming noise pollution across your whole existence. This deep, inherent self-preservation instinct manifests as something far less measurable than voltage readings alone. It reveals itself instead through the way our capacity to feel calm or agitated is entirely predicated on these microscopic energetic balances holding firm against informational decay. This constant self-policing, this quiet defense against total systemic collapse, has a measurable signature in our own living spaces.
Think of your body's boundary not just as an electrical shield, but like the integrity of a perfectly tuned crystal receiving broadcast signals from across dimensions. When that fundamental ionic equilibrium holds firm, we experience sustained patterns of internal coherence, a deep alignment you feel even when the world outside is buzzing with noise. It's the ultimate proof that inner peace isn't something granted. It's actively engineered by these minute regulatory loops, maintaining stable electrochemical gradients everywhere within your frame. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.
The system doesn't just resist noise, it dictates its own terms of reality at that microscopic edge. Think of your body as a finely calibrated clock, and K+ buffering is what keeps every gear perfectly synced regardless of external vibration frequency or solar interference. It's the intrinsic blueprint for self-determination against informational chaos. The true takeaway here: recognize moments where your inner quietude feels utterly untainted by outside pressure. That state reflects peak autoregulation in action. That absolute independence informs everything we seek to understand about sustained vitality. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.